Welcome back to Prison Professors. I am doing episode number 5 with Mariano Orosco. All of the links below take you through the entire series. You will hear about how a young boy became a gang member, and as a result of some bad decisions that were gang-related violence led to a 38-year prison sentence, led him into high-security penitentiaries where he initially adjusted as a gang member until he met his guardian angel, a woman by the name of Ariana?
Amelia.
Amelia, who really gave him hope. And that's what we try to do at Prison Professors, is give people hope. We send these videos into jails and prisons across America with hopes of helping more people emerge, as my new friend Mariano, who became a student in the Prison Professors program while he was in prison. Then he reached out to me. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about what is it like to transition. He's only been out for 4 months. And so, Mario, why don't you tell us a little bit about what those first 4 months were like, and then we'll get into this new project that we're creating called the CEO Mindset.
Coming out to society and the reentry home on a stay-at-home order has been, by all definitions, difficult. Particularly with my relationships, with my children and my wife. But it took sort of this rearrangement of my the way I view things and my expectations. I had to shift sort of these ideas that I had about how I was going to succeed and redefine success, right? The definition of success is huge, as you very well know. So I had to redefine that for myself and see really, how am I going to measure my success moving forward? Because everything that I had planned just isn't there. My network isn't there because they're not available. I'm not available.
What do you mean your network's not there? They're not available. Who is the network that you're talking about?
So when I mean they're not available, the network primarily is, my family, my support system, my children, my wife, the organizations that I belong to, although they are supportive and available by phone and Zoom. My plans were to go and, sign up for a job fair, go and see how I can do some volunteer work with these people. And all that is taken away from me because of COVID-19. So that's what I mean when I say they're not available in the way in which I had thought they were and I had planned.
So is the condition then that you have to stay? Where are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles at Amity.
At what?
Amity Reentry Home.
So is that home requiring you to stay in that home 24 hours a day?
24 hours a day, yes.
So it's just like jail?
It's a different form of jail, yes.
And what do you have to do to get out of that environment and go to live with your wife?
So graduate for me, my only option is graduating. So I will graduate soon. Other than that, my option is to get kicked out of here, which I refuse to do. I can create other options, except for me, I refuse to entertain them because then it would become about manipulating people in order to get my way.
So you got released to this home? Was that part of the condition of your release?
Yes, I actually chose this home for my reentry. I would have to do 6 months here as a condition for the BPH.
What is the name of that home?
Amity Vista.
Amity Vista. I'm going to write it down because I'd like to connect with them. Yeah. Amity Vista. And do they have programs there like the Prison Professors program?
More specifically, Amity Foundation, sorry. No, so your program is not currently here. They have programs.
What kind of programs do they have?
So they have their own curriculum where they do gatherings, 2 gatherings a day. And they have very specific programs for, there's 2 populations here. There's the men that have gone out from board, BPH. And then there's the men that are here currently on MCRP, which are the men who are still under supervision with a sort of ankle monitor.
Do you have access to videos and video players and internet?
Yes, I have. We are allowed to have really anything that we need. So I do have my laptop, my phone, my devices, and stuff like that.
And what do you have to do to graduate from that program so that you can come back to the community?
Basically, just stay here and continue to participate in the community, and just primarily consists of doing 6 months here.
So that was the deal. It's a 6-month time that you serve there, but there's not a requirement for you to learn or participate in any type of vocational type programs that'll help you earn a living?
No, not beyond their own curriculum. No.
And what does their curriculum consist of?
So it's in the self-help area. So they definitely do the goal setting. They do the coping skills, the anger management, stuff like that.
But no skills in business development or career development or understanding the job market or things of that sort?
They have they have a representative from Los Angeles Trade Tech that takes care of that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Would that be as inspiring to you as listening to formerly incarcerated people who built businesses and became successful? Would it be helpful to you to learn those kinds of stories?
Yeah, it would definitely be more inspiring. But to be fair, I think that would be more inspiring than really any other exposure because of my history and because, that's my story.
I encourage you to are you a subscriber to the Prison Professors YouTube channel?
Not as of yet.
So make sure that you subscribe because I produce this type of content every day. And one of the things that I'm teaching now, Mariano, and I would encourage you to look at this, is this concept of developing the CEO mindset. Have you ever heard about that in any of my courses before?
I have not.
So I'm going to tell you what it's like. It's very similar to what you've described in what you went through in the Prison Professors program in prison. But now you're in society. And so you got to be thinking in terms of saying, okay, what does success look like for me right now? And then do the same type of thing where say, I need to know what it looks like right now. Like, when are you graduating?
September.
So what does it look like between now and September? Then what will it look like between September of 2020 maybe and January of 2021? And, do it in like quarterly increments. Okay? Because a CEO, you know what a CEO is?
Certainly.
So a CEO, you have to figure out a way to increase value, okay, in your life. That's a really important basic thing that we have to do. But if we don't have a plan, we really can't do it. As you know, you end up just wasting time, right? I want to give people who are like us, people who came out of prison, these tools that really helped me. And what really helped me, that I learned from CEOs, is after you define success, you've got to document a strategy, okay? That means the strategy can't be just something that's in your head. It's got to be documented, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. That's step one. Step two is you've got to develop the tools, the tactics, and the resources that will help you execute on your strategy as you've defined it. If you've got a strategy to succeed, what are the tools, tactics, and resources that you have to use every day to become successful? And then the third is you've got to measure your progress every day. Now, let me tell you why that's so important. There's a lot of discrimination against people that have a prison background. It's tough to get a job. It's tough to get credit. It's tough to build a business. It's tough to have anybody look at us as anything other than the bad decisions of our past. But if we can show them how we are different, we can open up opportunities that many people don't even think are possible. And you've seen in the program the opportunities that opened for me. I want you to be able to open those opportunities for yourself. And this strategy of documenting something that you can use as a tool to bring into whether it's an interview or when you face obstacles, you can show, hey, this is really who I am. And look at all of the evidence that I've built. I've built my own plan. And these are the tools that I did every day. And here's how I held myself accountable. If you create that story, you're effectively changing the narrative of your life. That's what I've done. And, you don't have to pay money for this. You could simply, like I said, on Prison Professors, watch our videos and they're going to show you how I do it. because I write every day how I create businesses out of this, how I've started becoming an investor in real estate because of this strategy, how I've just created opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, because I always say, I was in prison for 26 years, but that's not what defines me. What defines me is how I responded. And what really defines you, Mariano, is not that you had a 38-year prison sentence. It's that you had an epiphany, and then you created a plan, and you started to execute on that plan, and you held yourself accountable by surrounding you with the right people. Those skills are the same skills that can make you extremely successful in business. But you've got to be able to get into business. You've got to get in the game. And just like you said before in your first interview, it was tough just to get from the yard to education. It took you 2 years to get there. It can take you 2 years to get from September of this year until the point where you're saying, hey, I started my own business. But if you document the strategy, if you show that you know how to create the tools, tactics, and resources, and if you hold yourself accountable every day, you really advance the ball. What is the type of career that you want to build?
So primarily I want to get into the counseling, whether it's behavior counseling or alcohol and drug abuse.
Can you tell me what your background is at that? What type of credentials have you earned besides a GED?
So I'm currently working on my associate's degree for psychology. I should have that by next semester. I've also gained my alcohol and drug specialist certification from Palo Verde Community College 1 and 2.
So you've got the credentials and the tools that you need to be employed in that sector.
I've got some, and I'm going to be acquiring them for the foreseeable future.
How are you measuring your progress every day?
Really today, as of today, I do it by making sure that on a daily basis, I'm either working on something that has to do with my associate's degree or my career. That includes enrolling in West LA College and doing courses that are counseling related.
Are you documenting them in a journal of some kind?
I am. I document on a daily basis what I participated in, how long I participated in for, and who can validate that or vouch for that.
Where are you putting that documentation?
So initially they go on a piece of hard copy paper, and then they go into my laptop.
And when you say they're in your laptop, is it just for you or is it for the world to see?
Right now it's for me, but I'm going to create it in a fashion that somebody else can make use of it.
So how will you do that?
Really by breaking down the process. Why? What inspired me?
No, how will you make it possible for somebody else to see it?
So that is part of the plan. I need to work on that plan, but I definitely am going to do it because all I have to do is reach out to people and ask for that help.
Would you consider documenting your story on the Prison Professor's website, where if I created a blog for you, that you could start publishing your story right there of transitioning into society after a 38-year sentence?
Oh yeah, certainly. I would.
I think a lot of people would like to read that and learn about that, and I could teach you how to do that. And I think it would be very helpful where you're doing this, where you're documenting your strategy. Okay. And the only one that holds you accountable is you. You could write a little story. You could, I'll show you how to publish it on the site. And then you could start documents, like you'd have a link on there, and this is your story. So you don't have to spend the money to go out and buy a website and hire a designer until you're ready. But I don't want you to lose any of this time of documenting a strategy, because this becomes a tool for you. And then I want you to be able to use that tool. And then I also want you to be able to show the progress. That way people can see what you're doing. And when it's time for you to transition and you have the resources to build your own website and film your own videos and do all those kinds of things, you'll have all that content already digitized in a digital format, and you could just copy it and put it on your own site. And that's how you could build your own business. Because right now you're in a really important time. Okay. If you document everything that you're doing right now and people see it, you're going to build a following, and you may build your own independent counseling practice because you can show how authentic you were. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and it sounds like a plan.
Okay, so I'm gonna figure out right now how to create a system that you could start writing every day or every week or whenever you want to do a recap and submit your stories. And you can create it in written format. You can create it like this is a video format. Mm-hmm. You can do it videos. You can do audios. I can publish all of that information for you. And that way you start really building your story, and you start inspiring other people, and you create a digital asset that I hope will help you develop your career, just like I developed mine. Yeah. I never ask anybody to do anything I'm not doing. And you can see this is what I do. And yes. I want to see more people doing the same thing, because we got to, in this era of a pandemic, we have to be learning how to create our own income streams, how to create our own jobs. And that all starts with being able to tell a different story from what the system has told us, only featuring the bad things.
Yes. So yeah, I would like to express my gratitude for your willingness to, help me out in my journey to my, what I defined as success. And so I am very interested. And again, it's really awesome that you've offered that to me, and I very much appreciate it. And
we're going to do it. We're going to start on it today. So we'll open up. I'll show you how to do it, and you can be published by today. And that way, when people walk around, you could just send them to the website, and they'll see your story, and they can follow along. And you could use this as a kind of a digital resume. It's getting you ready for the digital age. And maybe the next thing I'll teach you how to do is start your own YouTube channel, just like I have, and you start recording the story on video. And all of that is work, but you could start by becoming a prison professor with us, okay?
Awesome.
Sweet. All right, young man. Thanks so much for giving us 5 interviews with Mario Orosco. Yeah. The entire episode series is down below. All the links are there, including his contact information. If you need an expert speaker of somebody who faced a challenge and transformed his life, I really encourage you to reach out to Mariano and invite him. And if you've got a job opportunity for him, I hope that you will reach out to him. I hope that you will follow his blog on Prison Professors that we are going to start today, July the 25th, 2021. We'll be able to follow along on his journey from 38-year prison sentence, from gang member to productive, law-abiding, contributing citizen, all with the help of his lovely wife, who was a guardian angel for him and is waiting to welcome him home, and just as we all are. We want to show the best possible outcome from prison, and that's what we're seeing in this journey of Mariano Orosco. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to Prison Professors right now, and support our sponsors at cbdtv.com, and we love having you as a part of our community. Thank you.